Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm cooking with Tammy. I have a treat for all of you. Trust me. Tonight we're going to be making sweet and sour chicken. This sweet and sour chicken is going to be so authentic that you're going to think you ordered it up from your local Chinese restaurant. So without further ado, let's introduce these ingredients and get to cooking. First on up is our beautiful chicken breast. We also have some corn flour in the back. If you can't get your hands on corn flour, substitute with cornstarch. For our other ingredients, we're going to need salt, white pepper, along with an array of bell peppers I'm going to be using for that nice color contrast, orange, red, and green, along with onions. We're also going to need some ketchup, white distilled vinegar, granulated sugar, pineapple juice, an egg, and even more cornstarch. So without further ado, let's get this wok rocking. Since we can't have sweet and sour chicken without the chicken, first thing we want to do is grab ourselves some chicken. For this particular recipe, I'm going to be using chicken breast. Since this chicken breast is pretty thick, I'm going to go ahead and slice it in half using a sharp knife. Once we're done, we're going to cube the chicken on up. If you don't have chicken breast on hand, no worries. This recipe could be substituted with using boneless chicken thighs. Cutting the chicken up in chunky bite-sized pieces definitely makes a difference. Once we're done, we're going to gather all our chicken together. We're going to hit it off with some oil. Feel free to use whatever oil you have on hand, whether it be canola, vegetable, avocado, etc. We're going to sprinkle some salt onto the chicken. When it comes down to adding the salt, try not to add too much. This is sweet and sour chicken, not salt, sweet and sour chicken. If you want to get your hands on these salt and ground black pepper grinders, then head on over to my Amazon store, which is going to be linked at the bottom in the description bar. These little gadgets right here makes the ultimate difference. Let's add some ground white pepper. Grab it from the back of the pantry. I know a lot of times we only use ground white pepper when we're making, like, let's say fried chicken, buttermilk fried chicken, or something of that nature. And we're going to incorporate all of the seasonings throughout the chicken. Mix it on up really, really good. If you don't have ground white pepper, feel free to use ground black pepper. I'm going to beat this egg on up and add it to a separate bowl. And we're going to add all of our seasoned chicken to the egg mixture. We're going to coat the chicken really good with the eggs. In this case, one egg, which is going to be more than enough, as you can see. All right, looking good so far. We're going to take our chicken pieces and we are going to add it to our corn flour. As I said earlier when we were introducing our ingredients, if you don't have corn flour, then you can substitute with using cornstarch. Either or is going to work out just perfectly fine. Just coat the chicken with the cornstarch. In the meanwhile, let's work on getting our wok nice and hot. Our wok is hot and smoky and ready to go. I'm going to be using medium heat to get this job done. I'm going to add a good amount of oil to the wok simply because we're going to be frying this chicken on up. Once the oil comes up to temperature, we're going to add our chicken pieces. Be mindful not to overcrowd the pan because we want to allow even heat distribution in order for the chicken to fry up evenly. Because this wok is smaller, it may take about 2 to 3 batches of frying this chicken on up, but nevertheless, it's going to be so well worth it. This chicken is absolutely golden brown and gorgeous. How can you refuse not eating a couple pieces of this fried chicken? Now here's the thing, guys. If you're going to be doing a taste test with this chicken, make sure your chicken is fried thoroughly, cooked all the way through. Nevertheless, I did taste a couple pieces, I gotta admit, and it was absolutely delicious, even without the sauce. Now here's the thing, guys. As you can see, I have my cooling station or cooling rack set up simply because when I'm frying chicken, I prefer this option instead of laying the chicken down flat onto the surface. I feel like the chicken becomes soggy once you do that. So I would definitely suggest using the cooling rack method. Let's make our delicious sweet and sour sauce. Using this measuring cup, I'm going to add some water, followed by our pineapple juice, distilled vinegar, granulated sugar, and our ketchup. Now let's see how hard or how easy it's going to be to get this ketchup out of this measuring spoon. Once we're done, we're going to add our cornstarch and we're going to mix it on up really, really well. Make sure everything is perfectly incorporated. Be sure to get any of that cornstarch that maybe stick to the bottom of the measuring cup as well. Once we have a nice smooth consistency, we're going to move on over to our frying pan once again. If there was any excess oil, drain that excess oil on off, going with a paper towel to get any crumbs. Once you're done, you're going to re-oil the pan, add a small drizzle. Let's add our onions and our bell peppers. If you don't have orange bell peppers, then of course just use red or green, or basically simply use whatever you have on hand. Once we're done, we're going to go in with our tongs, give it a quick toss, stir it on up. I know we can all agree that when you order takeout, the veggies are always nice and slightly crispy, and the color vibrancy of the veggies are always present. And that's simply because when it comes down to the stir frying process, in Asian cooking, it's really important that the oil is really hot and you don't overcook the veggies. To jazz the flavors of these veggies on up, we're going to add a small pinch of salt. Now would be the perfect time to add our sauce. Mix it on up, incorporate it really good, give it a couple minutes. I promise you it's going to start to thicken on up in about 2 to 3 minutes. However, if your sauce becomes too thick, all you have to do is add, let's say, maybe some water or even pineapple juice to loosen it on up. Once the sauce gets to the perfect consistency, you're going to turn the stovetop on off. You're going to coat all of your fried chicken pieces with this delicious sweet and sour sauce. Check it on out. This right here, you can't tell me this doesn't look perfect. Once you're done, you're going to serve it on up. And here you have it, guys, our delicious sweet and sour chicken recipe. Takeout version, done at home, of course. And I can guarantee you guys, when I tell you the flavors were everything, the flavors were spot on. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference, whether or not if you got it from a Chinese restaurant or if you made it at home. That's how delicious this chicken recipe was. Anyway, guys, definitely let me know whether or not if you've tried sweet and sour chicken before. If not, this would be the perfect time to try this recipe at home. See how much you like it. And the great thing about cooking at home, you can get to enjoy as much as you want for a fraction of the price. Not to mention, you can definitely cut back on your salt intake as well. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.